Welcome to aminacademy.com. Let us do life stories of scientists. In that, we'll discuss about Mendeleev. Mendeleev was born in the small Siberian town of Tobolsk. As the last of 14 surviving children, Mendeleev's father at the local gymnasium, and Maria, his mother. Dmitry's father became blind in the year of Dmitry's birth and died in 1847. To support the family, his mother turned to operating a small glass factory owned by her family in a nearby town. The factory burned down in December 1848. Dmitry's mother took him to St. Petersburg, where he enrolled in the main pedagogical institute. His mother died soon after, and Mendeleev graduated in 1855. He got his first teaching position at Simferopol in Crimea. He stayed there only 2 months, and after a short time at the Lyceum of Odessa, decided to go back to St. Petersburg to continue his education. He received a master's degree in 1856 and began to conduct research in organic chemistry. Financed by a government fellowship, he went to study abroad for 2 years at the University of Heidelberg. Instead of working closely with the prominent chemists of a university, including instead of Robert Bunsen and Auguste Calculi, he set up a laboratory in his own apartment. In September 1860, he attended the International Chemistry Congress in Karlsruhe, convened to discuss such crucial issues as atomic weights, chemical symbols, and chemical formulas. Now, let us discuss more about Mendeleev. Mendeleev found that when all known chemical elements were arranged in order to increasing atomic weight, the resulting table displayed a recurring pattern or periodicity of properties within group of elements. In his version of the periodic table in 1871, he left gaps in places where he believed unknown elements would find their place. He even predicted the likely properties of three of the potential elements. The subsequent proof of many of his predictions within his lifetime brought fame to Mendeleev as the founder of the periodic law. In 1834 to 1907, the periodic table of the element used in chemistry was devised by the Russian scientist Dmitry Mendeleev, also called Mendeleev. His final version of the table in 1871 left gaps, suggesting that other elements would later be discovered. He also predicted the characteristics of these unknown elements. Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev was born in Tobolsk, Siberia on February 8, 1834. After his father's blindness and death in 1847, his mother operated a glass factory. When the factory was destroyed by fire, the family moved to Moscow and later in St. Petersburg. While writing the book, Mendeleev began to investigate the relationship between chemical elements. Out of the research came to the periodic table that listed all of the elements by atomic weight and grouped them into related categories. Once the table was accepted, it became very useful in understanding the radioactive decay process by which one element is transformed into another. Mendeleev also made a significant contribution to Russian industry and agriculture, driven from teaching because of his progressive social views. His last years were spent as head of the Bureau of Weights and Measures. He died on February 2, 1907 in St. Petersburg. This is a formation of the periodic table. The formulation of the periodic table involves arranging chemical elements in order to increasing atomic number with elements exhibiting similar chemical properties placed in vertical columns called groups and horizontal rows called periods, revealing a recurring pattern of properties known as periodicity. This system was primarily developed by Dmitry Mendeleev, who organized elements based on their atomic mass and observed repeating trends in their properties. Some key points about the periodic table formulation. First, the atomic number basis. Elements are arranged based on their atomic number, which is the number of protons in the nucleus of an atom. It is an atomic number, we know that. Regarding that, he arranged the elements. Group and periods. The vertical columns called groups and the elements within group share similar chemical properties. In vertical columns, the group elements are same chemical properties due to their similar electron configuration in the outermost shell. Horizontal rows are called periods. Periodic law. The fundamental principles behind the periodic table is the periodic law, which states that the properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic numbers. How the periodic table is structured? Look at here. Electron configuration. The arrangements of the electron in an atomic outermost shell determines the element's position on the periodic table. Metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Elements are classified into metals, left side, non-metals, right side, and metalloids along zigzag line based on their properties. Important aspects of Mendeleev's contribution. Predicting unknown elements. By leaving gaps in the periodic table, Mendeleev was able to predict the existence and properties of yet undiscovered elements. Organizing by atomic mass. Initially, Mendeleev arranged elements based on the atomic mass, but later adjustments were made to better align with the periodic pattern. So far, we discussed simply about the Mendeleev, a famous scientist who made a table of elements, arranging periodic table. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.